Shout out to him
So
getting his
this
money.
was submitted by Trav.
I'm glad that's working
Vitra.
out.
right. Shout out to his merch drop. dog.
I love it. In an hour?
Yeah.
This was submitted by Trav Itra 808 on Instagram. They want you to react to this bike trick gone wrong.
Look at his face.
Oh.
That must have fucking hurt.
Not the back shot.
Boom! Boom!
Oh.
Damn, and his head. Was the kid okay?
We don't know.
No one knows.
We don't know.
I know he had a headache.
Stupid stunt just to begin with.
Yeah.
The juggling.
Yeah, it's like, who
it's all
gives a fuck?
stupid.
Yeah.
And he gets the best thing about that is him getting a tire to the face.
right.
Hey, can we see that guy again? He look like Jeremiah Watkins, who riding a bike.
I think his at is right there.
Oh, he kind of does.
Is that Jeremiah?
It does
With
kind
the
of.
beard.
Yeah.
From the side, the nose kind of looks
That
like
nose.
Everything that no.
that girl
Not
with
forget
the-
about that nose.
I can't forget about what Brendan said.
Forget about that.
But her nose.
Is she bad, but that nose.
Oh, he posted the clip.
Oh, so he's like a famous
He's
bike rider.
a pro, it looks like.
Freestyle.
Freestyle mountain
Mountain
bike
bike.
athlete.
I hope that dude didn't like.
That fuck up
That
his
shit look like a
neck.
fucking.
I guess he posted. I'm pretty sure the guy is fine if he posted it.
Oh, he's Russian.
Oh,
is right.
that's why. This is what happens. Blah blah. Glide.
Some Russian shit.
said he's
when I
fine.
think of it.
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, if he posted. Boom. Boom. That's what. That's the
This
guys
is the
that run
guy.
to get the tennis balls when they stop. Love.
Yeah, let's see what he does.
Lifts.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. Yeah, like
not
that's
like
a
that
lot
was-
of weight.
Bro, the chains too.
That ain't shit.
yeah.
What else you got? Get
What
off
the
this.
fuck?
Get off this lame page.
Right.
I remember specifically there was a gig I found in Newport Beach, and the gig was at a nice restaurant in Newport Beach, and they were going to give you 15 minutes of stage time, which at that point is fantastic, and you're going to get a salmon dinner. I'm like, Sebastian, you want to
Solid
go?
deal.
Let's go down. He's like, sure. He's going to drive. So we're driving on down on the 405 South. I swear to God, I don't know exactly what happened, but as we're driving down, like this car swerves and we like fishtail a little bit. Like we came this close, like spinning out. Like Sebastian almost didn't happen, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, wow.
because of a salmon dinner. Like we would have gotten killed for a goddamn salmon dinner.
We'll go get that
Because he was
salmon.
working at like Four Seasons, I think. He was like a waiter there,
So when
right?
Sebastian was working at Four Seasons, he would go on his break. He would take his break. He'd come up and do a set at the store in the
What a
original
savage.
and go back. Now, I had a similar thing happen where I at some point, want to also do acting. So they were like, oh, there's a play at the Mark Taper Forum, which is a big play. There's a playwright named Tony Kushner who's written a play called Homebody Kabul. This guy, Tony Kushner, is an Tony award-winning playwright. He wrote Angels in America. He's amazing. So I was like, oh, this is a chance to be part of something big. But the part I had was I play a doctor who shows up at the beginning of the play. It's a 3-hour play. I show up at the beginning of the play. I recite like a 2-minute monologue, and then I'm gone for 2 hours.
That's beast. Yeah.
But that's it. I mean, I'm gone. Like I would go sit upstairs and be like staring at the walls, and then like I started like learning how to play the guitar and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait a minute, this is downtown LA. It's nighttime. If I time this right, I can go do a set and come back. Oh. So I started doing sets in the middle while the play was happening because I just had to come back for the curtain call.
Yeah.
So I'd do my monologue and I'd be like, thank you very much. Get in the car,
set.
drive, do my set, come back, and they'd be like curtain call. And that was it.
Yeah,
Fucking
So
dope.
you take what you can, you know.
I love the same thing in fighting. Like I love when there's like these prospects or in stand up, like you're these open micers or you're just starting to start out. It's you and Sebastian driving down, to Orange County, and it's like the hustle to get there, man.
Dude, there's so many stories
I
on
love
getting in.
hearing
So
it.
here's the thing. So Mitzi saw me. So Mike Marino, you know Mike Marino?
Italian dude.
Italian, yeah.
yeah.
Mike Marino knew me because I'd done a couple of his bringer shows. He was teaching a stand-up class. I took a stand-up class, and that's where I was. I
remember.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mike.
yeah.
So
Him, yeah, he's a-
really nice guy, funny guy.
Funny.
And so he's the one I asked. I go, Mike, you're a regular. Would you recommend me? And he's like, I don't know this and that. I go, come on, please. So he recommended me. And the way it works is, at least back then, is you would go up, you do 3 minutes in front of Mitzi. If she liked you, she said, come back next week, do 6. She liked you, come back next week, do 10. By the way, she doesn't tell you, someone else tells you, because she's not talking to you. She's just sitting in the back like a mafia boss, You do your 3, you walk off, and you get a call going.
God, 3.
Come back and do 6. You're
3,
from the booker.
man.
Yeah, from 3 to 6 to 10. And this is by the way, this is potluck night. So you're following all the open micers.
Yep.
It's a weird crowd. You better hope you do well. So when I did my 10th minute, the 3rd time, I'm coming down. She's sitting in the back where the exit is. You got to walk past her. She's just sitting in a little chair, says exit sign, and she's eating her popcorn. And your whole time as you're walking down, you're like, please just grab my arm. Because if she grabs your arm, that means she's going to, anoint you. But if she doesn't grab your arm, lets you walk out after the 10 minutes, that means you just went through all that shit.
For nothing.
Come back in 6 months or a year, right? She's already seen you and she doesn't like you. Get the hell out. So I'm walking past her, and all of a sudden her arm reaches out. And in my head, by the way, let me backtrack
What a
for a second.
moment.
Dude, let me backtrack for a second because, because listen, I got into comedy because of Eddie Murphy. Because when I was 10 years old, 9 years old, Eddie Murphy was huge. And I had come down to LA at one point with some friends from Northern California when I was like 13 years old. And we ended up staying at a hotel across the street from the Comedy Store. I didn't even know what the Comedy Store was. But I remember driving by the Comedy Store and the friends that were showing us around, they go, that's the biggest comedy club in the world. Eddie Murphy performs there. I was like, holy shit.
Yep.
So in my mind, I knew Eddie Murphy had performed there. So here I am now, walking past Mitzi. She grabs my arm. And as she grabs my arm, I'm like, oh my God, this is it. My career's being made. Eddie Murphy, oh my God, this is crazy. She pulls me in. I lean down. She's older. She's getting sicker, but she still is there with us. And she goes, you're very funny. I go, thank you, Mitzi. She goes, I'm going to make you a regular. I go, thank you, Mitzi. She goes, have you ever thought about wearing the outfit? I go, what outfit? She goes, the hat and the gown. I go, hat and gown? She goes, yeah. She meant a turban. And
But she did this to a lot of guys. This is what people don't realize. She did to a lot of people.
Bro,
Dog.
I'm
She
sitting
has
there,
guys like wear costumes and shit all the time.
all these thoughts are going through my head because I'm like, what do I say?
Yo, what the?
And I go,
kind of offended.
Yeah.
and I go, yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, sure. And
Yeah, what turban?
I walk down the stairs. She goes, yeah, I'm gonna make you a regular. Call Monday for avails. I walk down the stairs. I go in the hallway. I'm like, what the hell did I just agree to?
You got to find the turban.
I'm gonna wear a turban and a friggin' distasha on stage. What the hell is this?
Just your soul, inside.
Bro, my soul
selling out.
and like
Just sold out.
comics laughing.
But I
at me.
would too. I mean, Mitzi is like, hey, man, you ever thought about wearing a football jersey?
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah, man, that should
yeah.
be cool.
Yeah. So I thought in the back of my head, I go, she's older, maybe she forgets. And
way.
dude, on Monday, Corey, who was the booker, they call her Queen Corey. She's Freddie Soto's widow. She at the time, she calls me up. She knew me. She goes, hey, Mas, congratulations. I heard you're a regular. I go, yeah, Corey, I am. She goes, and Mitzi said you're going to be wearing the outfit. I was like,
So you have to go get the outfit?
Bro, no. So then it was like 2 weeks of trying to figure out
Oh, no.
how to get out of the outfit. So, I was talking to my sister about it. And I'm trying to get advice from people. And then I told Corey what you just said. I go, Corey, I don't know about wearing an out like a turban on stage. And she goes, Maz, let me just tell you something. She goes, Mitzi is a genius. If she sees something for you, you got to go with it. She goes, she helped Roseanne shop for her clothes to create the Roseanne character. She helped Andrew Dice Clay become Andrew Dice Clay. She is a genius. Now, granted, what you just said, if you talk to Mark Maron, he'll tell you when he became a regular, she told him to wear a scarf because you're the poet.
Yeah, she wanted him to always wear a scarf.
Right?
And Mark's like, what?
And then there's another guy. His name was Joey Bananas, I think.
Banana
or
suit, right?
Jackie Banana, whatever his name.
Yeah.
This guy, I guess, had an act where he would do 15 minutes and he wear like the banana suit at the last minute. Mitzi saw it one time. She goes, "You're Jackie Bananas. You got to wear the banana suit the whole time."
Oh,
This
you're
dude
the banana
disappeared.
guy.
We never seen him since.
Yeah, ruined his career.
Maybe he's
So it wasn't like. Listen, I love Mitzi. I've never met her, but the stories that love her, support.
Yeah.
Some misses. A lot
It
of,
wasn't
like,
100%.
Like,
No,
you know,
hits.
Jerry Seinfeld came and she didn't pass Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know that story.
Yeah. It wasn't 100%. And so,
It wasn't 100%.
Little miss.
I mean, I'm guessing the guy might have done a Fruit of the Loom commercial or something. But
Career
no.
suicide.
Yeah,
man.
so I don't know what happened to him. So I was like, okay, how do I get out of this? So then I started negotiating because now Corey, by the way, who was the booker, she loved movies from the 30s. And I don't know if you guys know who Rudolph Valentino is, but he was this actor from the silent movie era, and he was there he is, Rudolph Valentino, and he had a character called the Sheikh right there. I think that's what it is. What if I did Turner Classic
With
there
the
he is.
turban on?
Yeah, with the turban on. He was like this, leading man. I think the character was called the Sheikh.
It looks intense.
Yeah, he was like he was a heartthrob of the time, right?
Gotcha.
And the character was
It's a
like
white
this,
guy doing brown face, huh?
exactly.
Yeah, look at the lips.
So the character there, this son of the Sheikh, he was the Sheikh. So the character was this like leading man hero, right? So I'm talking to Corey, and I'm like, Corey, you know what? Rather than wearing like a turban, maybe I can be like a leading, like maybe that's a character I do in the middle of my act. I become the leading man, the Sheikh. And she's like, I love that idea. I'm gonna tell Mitzi you're gonna be the Sheikh. And I was like, I walked out, and I'm like, I just negotiated something I don't want to do.
You don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, okay, I got to get out of this shit. How do I get out of this shit? And then I remembered. Now I was,
But you're
born-
still stoked you got passed.
I'm happy I'm passed.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna wear no fucking turban. You understand what I'm saying?
That's what he's getting at.
It's a tough thing
I don't
to
care
do.
who you are.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm never, because the other compromise I thought of was Eddie Murphy used to do a great character on Saturday Night Live called Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood.
Yeah, great.
Which was his take on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Yeah.
And this is now before September 11th, but still, Muslim terrorist is still a thing. So I had an idea for like a sketch or like a portion of a show where I would do Mr. Raheem's Neighborhood. Where, you know what I'm saying?
I'm in, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I had that idea too. So I was like, maybe in the middle of my act, I'll turn into a character, So I'm trying to find the right way. And the way I got out of this was, so again, I was born in Iran, left when I was 6, grew up in America. Now, the Islamic Republic of Iran is a very oppressive government. And there's a lot of people in the West who are Iranians who hate that government. I don't like the government. They're very oppressive to
why
their
they
people.
left.
Yeah, that's why they left. So, but there's all these Persian TV channels out of America where these people will get on TV and they'll cuss out the leaders in Iran and just do all kinds of stuff. Well, there was one guy who used to dress up as a mullah, who's like the clerics, like the turban and all that from Iran. And he used to dress up and make fun of them in videos. This dude one time was at the federal building or somewhere. There was a rally against the government of Iran, and he's making fun of the mullahs, the clerics, and some supporter of the clerics showed up.
Definitely killed him.
No, didn't kill him, but they threw some rocks at the guy, hit him in the eye, blinded him.
Oh, wow.
When I heard that story, I was like, that's my out.
Like, Mitzi, I don't want to do this. Look
Dude,
at this guy.
I called up Corey. Now, at the time, my father had moved back to Iran, so he was in Iran. So I came up with multiple layers for work. So my father was a successful businessman, moves to America, buys a lot of property, ends up losing all of his money in the properties he bought, goes back to Iran to try and get his properties going again, and basically spends the rest of his life in Iran before he passes away in America in 2009. But he was in Iran at the time. And so the other problem is, so I was layering all my reasons why I'm not going to wear the turbans. So I said, first of all, listen, Corey, I said, my father's in Iran. If I'm wearing the turban, somebody finds out I'm wearing a turban, they get upset at me, they go after him.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, I said, these guys showed up and they threw a rock at that guy. They blinded him. So I said, they could come after me. They could come after the club. Come on.
Now you can't do that anymore at all. Like that kind of gimmick stuff. Like there's no way.
No,
There's no way.
No, you couldn't do it then. Can you? I can't imagine.
There
going
was
up-
a time where you could get away with doing the banana guy.
Pretty much everyone who did that went away, because the whole point of comedy
Yeah.
is your voice got to become
It's
you.
career suicide.
So back then, if I showed up with Sebastian and Sam Tripoli and Brett Ernst, it was like, "Hey guys, I got a turban on."
You would get lit.
Listen, as soon as I walked away, I know they'd be like, "What the fuck is he doing?" So I actually, it was funny. So as soon as I tell Corey that, she's like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know about that." She said, "Let me call you back." So obviously she calls Mitzi. 2 minutes later, she calls up. She's like, "Just wear something comfortable."
Yeah, we're in, baby.
There you
Thank
go.
God.
Well, you know,
Hell
Mitzi
yeah.
for Carlos Mencia, obviously he has his issues now, but his real name was Ned.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, you're Carlos Mencia, and you
Yeah.
got to lean into the Mexican thing.
Yeah, and even
His
though he's
real name was
Honduran, he's
Ned.
Honduran.
Ned?
He's
Honduras.
He's
Yeah.
not even Mexican.
Oh wait, he's Honduras.
Yeah.
And
He's,
she was
he's
like,
Honduran, and I think his mother is like, or one of his parents is so they're Honduran and a Hungarian or something like that. Like it's a mix. But again,
really?
Carlos Mencia leaned
But
into
that was Mitzi
Yeah.
saying, hey, your name's Carlos Mencia, change your name. Ned's not going to work. Change your name.
Yeah.
And also lean into the Mexican.
Listen,
Now
she
he's
again, I think her thing was like trying to market you into something that she thought would like
Sell
launch you,
tickets.
right?
Yeah.
But the fact is, again, hit and miss, right? So I was able to talk my way out of that. But then she comes back around and she does a great thing in putting us together for a tour that ended up becoming the Axis of Evil. And what happened was, so in 2000, Mitzi was very political. Like she would watch a lot of news, and there was an uprising with the Palestinians and the Israelis. They called it an intifada. So there was conflict in that part of the world again. Intifada, yeah. So Palestinians and Israelis, she's watching us CNN. This is 2000, before September 11th. And she says, she has a light bulb moment. She's like, there's going to be a need for a positive voice for Muslim people in the near future. This is before September 11th. So at the time, I was the only comedian of a Middle Eastern background at the club. And Mitzi had always had like ladies' night, black night, Latino night. So she decides to do a Middle Eastern night. She calls it the Arabian Nights. So we all start getting calls like, do you know any other Middle Eastern comedians? She had seen Ahmed, so she tells him, come be a part of this. I had seen Aaron Cater one time. He's half Palestinian, half Mormon. I go, I know this guy. He comes on. Sam Tripoli. Here's
Armenian.
Well, yeah. So here's where this is where my mind starts going to help my buddies out. Tripoli had auditioned for Mitzi because Tripoli was like, his material might have been a little more, it wasn't leaning into his ethnicity at all, and it might have been a little edgier. So when he auditioned for Mitzi, doing the 3 to 6 to 10, whatever it was, she didn't pass him. And they were like, just, go away, come back later. Well, at this time, Duncan Trussell had become the booker of the club. And Duncan's friends Duncan's friends with Sam, he's friends with me, everything. Duncan's the one calling me up. Do you know any other Middle Easterners? And I go, Duncan, Sam's last name is Tripoli. Tripoli is the capital of Libya. I wonder if there's any Middle Eastern in him. So I call up Sam, he's my buddy. I go, dude, are you Middle Eastern? He goes, well, my mom or somebody's Armenian. I'm half Armenian. I go, I think that's good enough. Bro,
You're in.
I call up Duncan. I go, Duncan.
Awesome.
I told him, Duncan, tell her he's half Armenian. Sam, in. All that time of like, no. She's like, you're
Damn.
in. And the show, the Arabian Nights, originally started out, because I remember talking to Ahmed. I'm like, dude, black comedy night, there's, 1,000 black comedians and a big black population that'll come see it. Women night, they'll come see it. Latina night, I go, Middle Eastern night? Who the fuck's coming to see Middle Eastern night? Well, we listened to Mitzi on that, and she was right on that, because what it was there was a need for that
voice, yeah.
And also, she originally just had it like, she was like, anybody who's brown that's not Mexican or black, you're on the show. So we had this like Indian dude that was like British Indian. She had a girl who was white, but she did like a belly dance move in the middle of her show. It was crazy.
Shakira.
Yeah, exactly. Shakira. Yeah. That's where she got her start. No, but it was this mishmash of a show, and then eventually me, Ahmed,
fun.
and Aaron and Sam became the original Arabian Nights. And then from there, we were like, well, Iranians aren't Arabs. Iranian, ethnically speaking, it's like saying to like, a Puerto Rican, you're Mexican. It's like, no, I'm not. I'm Puerto Rican. So similarly with the Iranian thing, we were like, we need another name that's a little edgier. And that's when George Bush had come out and said, there's an axis of evil. It's North Korea, Iran, and Iraq. So we're like, what about the Axis of Evil comedy tour? And that's when me, Ahmed, and Aaron took ownership of it, because Sam, again, was not necessarily Middle Eastern like that. So we took ownership.
Not at all.
I know.
Born and raised in L.A., man.
But,
It's good enough.
but he got into the club for that.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
love
saying?
it.
We did that a couple of times. There was another show, because Mitzi, by the way, when she's into you, she's into you. So she would like come to the club, and there was times when I'd be like, down the list over here, and then the booker would, whatever, the guy running it would come over and be like, you're next. I'd be like, what? Mitzi wants you to go. And you're like, oh fuck, I better deliver.
Yeah.
And you, thank God, you go up and you do well, great. So we were doing a big show in the main room one time. Missy shows up, and the lineup is in a specific order, and that's when Brett Ernst was one of my friends as well that started out with me.
He's hilarious.
And I'm like, and Brett had like tried to be a regular and hadn't been getting any love, and so he was supposed to go up, and whoever it is comes over and goes, Maz, Mitzi wants you to go next. And I was like, oh my God, I was hoping she'd watch Brett and then me. And they're like, doesn't matter, Mitzi wants you next. I go, do me a favor, just tell her you couldn't find me. And we tricked it. Brett goes up, kills it, regular. I'm like,
Bro, you're putting
yes.
people on, man.
Bro,